Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. I am making this video inside my closet, and I made a commitment to make a video every day. However, this month I'm supposed to make a video inside my vehicle, and unfortunately though, I cannot make a video inside my vehicle unless I'm driving. So because today I had a class at the university, I had to commute to the university, and I wake up early in the morning, so usually around 7:30, because I have to wake up at 7:30 and I have to catch the bus at 8 o'clock, and I drive. I go to the school. I cannot make a video in the bus, it's too loud, you won't be able to hear anything. My voice is very low, so I don't really speak that much louder. But yeah, so today I decided to make a video inside my closet again, which is something that I would try not to do, but I have to do it anyways. The topic is still the same. It's going to be the poverty converging. Why don't we see poverty converging? Things are getting busier now. I have a debate coming up. My debate is going to be about the whether the 21st century trade agreements is better than today's agreement. So today we have Trump passing a series of tariffs. We have we are like violating the rules from 1995 of trade agreements, and many countries are now shifting toward these high tariffs and protectionism. So my goal is to kind of argue, like, we should pass tariffs, by a small amount of tariffs. We should also allow nations to do some sort of globalizations, So I'm gonna be watching a documentary about globalizations. I watched the last couple years ago. It was from DW, a German channel, and how globalizations has changed the way we do business. You can drink a coffee, and coffee is made in Brazil. The machine made the coffee is made in China, and the materials made that machine in China is from Africa, and and then sort of those things, and the shipping is from Middle East, and then the investor is from Europe or US. So this globalization, it was like the new idea of limiting the tariffs, limiting protectionism, and allow firms and companies to go anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world, and invest the money, and then trying to pass the price. So that was the main policies. That was the main global policies, global trading policies before Donald Trump 2016. And then Trump came in 2018, 2019, he passed tariffs. Now he's back again and is passing another series of tariffs. So it's not something that I will be able to defend, but I will try my best. So, and then I have midterm also. I have to work on it. I do research, do the data analysis. So very busy schedule from now going forward to the next season. But I'm still fixed on poverty converging. All of these things would make sense in the future, but for now I'm fixed on poverty converging. On Monday, I believe, this was on Tuesday, and again I want to say today is October 16, I believe, and then so we are still in the first week of October, of the third week of October, and days are running, we're getting there. So don't worry, we're getting there. The year is about to end. It's getting cold outside, it's getting chill a little bit. So anyways, back to the topic. Why don't we see poverty converging? Why don't we see poor countries converge with rich countries? And this question actually answers my argument that's going to be coming up in my debate, which is globalization. If we had globalization, we have, we can make something from China, ship it to the United States. The China buy materials from the Africa, so there should be at least some level of increasing in the output in these poor nations. They should be able to move up, but we don't see that. We see actually China getting richer. We see United States still getting richer, but it's losing jobs. Then we see nations like in Africa getting poor and poor and poor, and productivity is now really going up. What could be the issue? What could be the problem? But anyway, I'm not gonna. That's too complicated to go that route. I'm still focusing on the poverty converging. What could be the reasons why we don't see the convergence? And on Tuesday, I started with nutrition, why we need to increase food supply, and I made some key points that in order for nations to increase the food supply, because people need to eat, people need the food. To increase the food supply, they will have to at least build the warehouses where they can store food. Farmers can store food, which I don't think any country has in African nations. They should increase, they should give validations, like support farmers by giving them certificates that prove that they are actual farmers. And if each farmer is specialized in a specific area, they can be certified that they specialize in that. Why is this a good thing though? I want to comment on this. Why do we need to give farmers some certificates? Because these certificates, this specialty, can actually help farmers take loans in a bank. It can be used as a collateral. If you go to buy a land right now in Africa, and you're trying to build an agriculture, right? And you want to put a price tag, use that land as a collateral to get a loan in the bank, or buy a house, or start a business, or send your kid to school. The chances of getting a loan is very, very low, because there is no value in that land, unless there is like a mineral resource in there. Other than that, you can't really convince a farmer, like, hey, like a random investor, like, I have invested $3 billion from this land, because it does not exist. Farmers grow food, they keep what they need, they eat, the rest they toss away, they waste it. But by having certificates and the tracking of how much they are investing in each land, that can be used as a collateral to get loans, buy car, buy machines, buy equipment. All right. The second thing I mentioned was education. Of course, has to do with the certificates. I feel like the farmers need to be given the education, need to be given the opportunity. They need to make sure that the researchers and the universities, as well as people involved in analytics and gathering the data, they need to move closer to the farm area. So if you're going to do research in Uganda, you are from South Korea, from India, from Europe, USA, Canada, Brazil is one of the best countries that is doing research in Africa. Instead of having these researchers live in a big city, the government should make it safer and more easier for these people to move closer to the actual farmers. Talk to farmers, stay with them, live with them, work with them, and see how things are going. This will not only cut the price, it will also make farmers more excited to see that what they are doing is actually being evaluated, being appreciated. And this can be done in many other fields as well. Things like I just mentioned farms, but we have other things in Uganda and many parts of Africa that is not certified. It could be things like in a restaurant bartenders and construction workers, and all those people are doing critical roles. They need to be given some kind of certificates to prove that they can actually do the job, and then they can eventually use that as a collateral to gain loans, improve their expertise, even maybe come to the United States and improve on their skills. if somebody is a farmer and spent years doing farming, they have a certificate in farming, they have a degree in farming, they have they have grown 50 pounds of maize, 50 pounds of rice, they have increased to 80 pounds, right? There has been an improvement. They can use that to come to the United States or maybe India, maybe another country, and study how to improve the crop yields, study even more advanced, then go back. But what we see is the people coming from African nations with so much experience in the actual work, and when they come to the United States, they have to switch because they cannot validate, they cannot prove what they have done, and it's really hard. When in reality, they have done so much work than we can anticipate. So today, I just want to give a summary of what I've done. I've talked about last week, couple days, which was improve the farming, make sure that the farmers can produce enough food, feed the population, teach them the tools that they need, take them education. All of this requires investments, of course, but I think that the government can shift a little bit more from investing in things like NGOs or very high level academia, PhDs, to supporting these farmers on a lower level so that they can pull them out of poverty. Because what we see in Africa, African nations, I mean other countries, but specifically in Africa, it's not necessarily about the skills. They have skills, they have technology. It's all about empowering those skills, improving them, moving them up. And when you train somebody from the high level, like me, a PhD, a graduate, masters, right? I want to be working in an area where everything's already done, like in the United States, everything's already done. But in the case of Africa, you can't. You just if you throw me there, I don't have anywhere to start because I don't understand the soil, I don't understand the background of it, I don't understand the nature, the environment. By teaching farmers to understand even their environment, improve on it, it will be much, much better. And I think that is something that we can work on, something that we can think about as the government, and eventually increase the food. Once we increase the food supply, and there is a lot over, right? Because there is enough food in Africa. I'm not saying there's enough food. There's a lot of food over there. But if you can store food, and then you have the next season rolling over with finding more food, and then more food, and then more food, eventually it becomes a rollover, like a seasonal thing. So like every season they grow food, then more food finds another food. So the price of food actually goes down because there's a food in storage. And once that is achieved, they can focus on processing that food, turning it to different materials and different ways. Maybe they can even ship overseas. But that will help the local economy, help the local people have enough food. If they have enough food, then they can feed the students, the people who are studying high level stuff, right? Very high level. Even the military, police officers, government employees, students in middle school, high school who don't have enough access to food, nutrition, they can now focus on different nutritions, so that is my thought, that is my ideas, and of course these things could have been already implemented. I'm not saying that they have not yet, maybe they have done so. I'm pretty sure someone else already done so, but this is something that can be implemented. If it's already there, it can be improved and be worked on. How we can implement those things requires money, requires investments, requires commitment, but most importantly, it requires the government to step in and intervene. Government has the responsibility to ensure that the institutions and the lower level is given the priority and putting farmers at the top priority rather than putting manufacturing at top priority. So, or allowing foreign investors to come in, they can just focus more on the local level and use the local level as the main investors to work on those economic output. Next time I'm going to talk about other things that goes into poverty trap, but today that's what I have, was just a summary. Again, I have to make this video in a car, so if I'm not in a car, I'm going to make this video. Other than that, thanks for watching. Like always, see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye bye.